issues. So, what's up, everybody? Oh, let me get up here. Let me move around. So, as you can see, I don't know what happened, but something caught my throat. But I don't have my normal setup because my daughter's here with me, so I can't use her room. So, we'll just talk like this. But this is a live feed, as you've probably noticed the thumbnail. Is it the thumbnail or the title or whatever? Some part of something. I don't know. But it says that I now possess the poor man's CapitalOne Duo, which I do. Well, it doesn't say I possess it, it just outlines it. So, what is the poor man's CapitalOne Duo? Everyone knows the CapitalOne Duo to be the Venture X and the Saver One card. Venture X being a 2X catch-all, giving you your benefits of a travel card plus your $300 travel credit, and then the Saver One, 3X grocery and dine out and entertainment. If I recall correctly, I don't even study these things because literally I just decided to go live. But here's the deal. So what I did, because everyone who knows me knows exactly how radioactive I am to CapitalOne. That's why I could never get the Venture X. As a matter of fact, I just haven't even bothered with the Venture X anymore. But I do have the Venture One card. So I did the pre-approval just to check, just to see, just for S's and G's, because I'm trying to watch my language. And they said I could get the Saver One. So I did the whole application process, and your boy got approved. So why then do I call it the poor man's CapitalOne? Now, it's not because the people who get it are poor. The poor man's CapitalOne Duo is literally for those poor individuals, such as myself, who are so radioactive to CapitalOne due to being bucketed from 20 plus years ago. Because when I first started my relationship with CapitalOne, it is closing on 300 months ago. Literally, it's almost 30 years. I did a 269-month review of the CapitalOne Quicksilver when I did have it before I product changed it to a Venture One. So back then I had no credit whatsoever, and that is what I was bucketed to. That has actually not changed. Even though I've passed a couple of auto loans through CapitalOne, I do have the Bass Pro Shop card through CapitalOne. So now, because I'm bucketed, what I'm actually trying to do is ladder my way out of it, just so I can have some more versatility for some more transferable points. Now, the wonderful thing is having the Venture One and the Saver, I'm going to test to see if the cash back that I earn on the Saver can be converted to miles, since I do have a miles earning card. Now, both of these are no annual fee. The Venture One is 0 annual fee. It is the Venture that's $95 and the Venture X, which is $395. What's up, John? So for this also, I guess it kind of is a poor man's duo, because, you know, if you don't have money to spend on annual fees, then it's great because there are zero annual fees there. So now this approval for the Saver One is a good look, and I'm actually going to be interchanging it with my hey, what's up, Woodsy? I'm going to be interchanging. Oh, Sister Joelle, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you as well. How did I say oh, wait a minute. Don't how you is it Feliz Cumpleaños for Happy New Year? Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say that's how you say it in Spanish. Or Feliz Nueve Año. Right? Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. But yeah, so I set up this poor man's duo. It's 0 annual fee. I now have the CapitalOne Saver. I can pair with the Venture One. Feliz Año. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Caesar. But I now have it so that I can pair it with the Venture One, and I'll test the reliability of the combo in order to give myself more versatility. Now, you guys already know that at work I order all the lunch and whatever, and I normally use my my gold card, and that's how I rack up Amex points. But I'm thinking to myself, if I alternate week over week, I could actually build up a pretty decent stash of both Amex points and Capital One points. Now I'm going to sit down because it's getting kind of hot. So if I can build up a pretty good stash of both of those points, I don't see why we can't make something happen next year for our big trip. So I should have said this first and foremost. I wish everybody a great, happy, and safe and healthy new year. I hope the new year has found everyone in the best possible condition that they can be. So that way it can literally only get better from here. But I just wanted to come on, tell you guys about my new... Why, kid? Why is my kid bothering me? What do you want, buddy? You want to say hi? Where you going, bud? You want to see the junior? Let's meet the junior. Come here, bud. All right, okay. That's it. All right, that's live. Go downstairs. Go downstairs. I'll be back. So, in any case, I have the poor man's duo here. It's all set. It's all ready. So I'm looking forward to deploying it. I'm going to alternate week to week. I'm definitely going to get the player 2 an authorized user card so that, you know, when she's out with the kids running through drive-thrus, getting food or what have you, she can then employ it as well to see if we can build a good stable of Capital One points. Because one thing about Capital One, I like to have Turkish. I believe they have Turkish miles and smiles and miles and I know they have some people that some transfer partners that I did want to try. So if I can get that done, I think that would be a pretty great coup. And there is no better way to ring in the new year, January 1st, with the first successful credit card approval of the credit card points and miles community. Essentially, no one has said that they've gotten approval for anything. So I literally have the first approval of 2024 in the credit card points and miles community. So just in case anyone else is watching, if anyone says that they did it, they're lying because I did it first. 1/1/2024, Capital One Saver One is in the stable of the cards. So that is pretty awesome. So also, just in case you guys didn't check it out, JP Knowledge had a live earlier today, and I really want you guys to check out his channel just in the vein of redemptions. Oh, JP, I was literally just talking about you. In the vein of redemptions, you know, I was there for the live, and you know, really, I'd like to see more traffic go through there because the guy is just a wealth of knowledge. I talked to him personally in Vegas. I talked to him online as well. So I really want more people to be exposed to that. And when I start getting my StreamYard stuff done, I'll drop some links. I'm just on my phone now. So JP, just in case you joined me, telling everybody about my new approval that I got today, January 1st, for the Saver One, which I'm going to pair with the Venture One, calling it the Poor Man Capital One Duo. And I'm going to try to rack up some points in order to have a stable of more convertible points in addition to my UR points and MR points to use for next year. Because next year, 2025, I told the wife, I want to go somewhere warm. I'm tired of going to cold Europe. It's just cold every time we go. So I told her we're either going to the Middle East or the South Pacific, and there's no reason why versatility and points shouldn't be able to help. Oh yeah, JP Cesar says, I've missed JP's lives. I will watch now for sure. I will watch for sure. Love his content. So yeah, man, we gotta stick together here. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty happy about the Saver One. And then in addition to that, here's how do I want to, you know what? I'll just come out and say it. For the case, I can give my gold card a break. You know, most people would be like, oh, you're trading 4 points for potentially 3. Like, let me worry about that. The fact is I can give the gold card a break. And then if anything happens in between that, you know what I mean? I have a card where the entire balance is not due at the end of the month. So, I mean, you can call it. It is what it is. Like, look, I tell people I don't I would not like for them to pay interest, but I understand interest is a part of life. It is what it is. And if I got to pay it, I'll be honest with you and tell you if I do. I don't care. But interest is pretty much a convenience charge anyway. It's when, you might have other things come up. I got 4 kids. There's always something coming up. But in any case, let's see here. Woodsy says, talking about Capital One, when my main priority this year is 1 to 2 ink cards, surpass or aspire. Maybe a platinum and an airline card to pay for my family flight for a family aspirational trip. Okay. I mean, I mean, the only thing I would say with that, I would probably lean towards Chase a little heavier because the family language in Amex is really starting to catch on through a lot of the families of their cards. So I don't know what cards that you have right now, but if you're like in the middle or you did them out of order or what have you, that could affect the value of the subs for you and also the eligibility of the subs for you because they're taking a hard line on that now to try to reverse their come one, come all attitude that happened during the beer bug. See, I almost slipped up there. So MR says, if you want heat, go to Africa. It was 120 degrees a couple of days ago when I was there. A couple of days when I was there this summer. I mean, I don't want heat. I just want not cold. So yeah, I'm gonna have to save Africa for a more temperate time and maybe even visit a more temperate region. I'm gonna probably check out some of Scott Loray's stuff because I actually do have a couple of places I would like to visit in Africa, and I'd like to subsidize that with points as best I can. Okay, Matt likes to travel. I use my Saver card a lot, but I was grandfathered in, so I don't have to pay the fee. Oh, that's what's up. That's a good deal. Woodsy says, I have the CSP and the Flex. Okay, well, I mean, at that point now, I don't know what your 524 status is, but I mean, and I'm not telling you not to get Amex cards. I'm just telling you just to be wary because they've instituted a lot of family language on other family cards, and I have a feeling that they're not done yet. So, just be wary of what it is that what you got going on with Amex. So Woodsy says, but the flights are out of a Delta hub, so I need a ton of MR points for that. But I've been traveling with Chase Portal a lot for work, so I have about 500,000 Chase points lying around. So if you have 500,000 Chase points lying around, you're flying out of a Delta hub, the MR points should be compatible with for a Virgin booking. If you use Virgin to book your Delta flight, I'd probably try to lean that way and then because I'm hoping that you're not using the SkyMiles conversion on American Express. You lose a little on the back end, but that's not my biggest problem with them, is that the SkyMile conversion on American Express, it just needs way more points than a Virgin booking would need. So I mean, I would probably look into a Virgin booking for if it's aspirational. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's gonna be international. I would try to use Virgin to book Delta Metal. And then if you do that, once you confirm the ticket, then you log into Delta, use the record locator, and simply change the rewards from Virgin to Delta. And then that way you'll get credit through your Delta Sky Miles medallion membership, and it'll all work out for way less points. So MR says Scott Loray is great. Yeah, man. Luke suggests him a lot. What he says, something to think about. It's more for the top on Delta and a ton of points for the Hilton I'm looking at. Oh wow, yeah. I mean, wow, yeah. Well, if what I would say is I would keep my fingers crossed. I would hope for a Virgin booking to work for you because you're gonna need points if you're gonna transfer to Hilton from American Express, even though it's what is it, like 1 to 2, I think it is, off the top of my head. You're probably going to need a lot, especially if you go really aspirational. I was looking at some Hilton properties today in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and in Fiji, and yeah, you're gonna need some points. So if you can actually lean on that 500,000 Chase points really hard, because I don't know which Delta hub you're flying out of, But if you're specifically, leaning at the Sky team and not open to any other alliances, because some of them actually work out of Delta hubs. Like for instance, I was looking through Cathay Pacific today, and there is first class booking availability for 63,000 Cathay Pacific Asian point miles or whatever, but it's out of Seattle to Honolulu, which is not bad, especially when you're not flying economy. So 53,000 for a first class ticket through Alaskan, which is One World, flying out of a Delta hub, which is Seattle. SkyTeam is very prevalent in Seattle. Woody says something to think about. It's more the. Oh, okay, you already said that. But yeah, well, I hope it works out for you. And if you need any help, please, by all means, do not be shy. Let me know. I'm in the Discord, and I will definitely help you. And also, JP Knowledge is in here. Please lean on him as a resource as well. He is very well versed in redemptions and finding sweet spots. I could stand to learn some things or two from him as well. I will always suggest, especially great creators with great knowledge like JP. So yeah, so we got the poor man's CapitalOne duo in effect. It is set up. Saver One card, Venture One card, 0 annual fee. The Venture One gets 1.25 CapitalOne miles on all purchases. Yes, it's not the 2X. Yes, it's not the Venture X. Blah, blah, blah. I get it for all the haters and detractors. But it's there, and it gives me entree to CapitalOne's transfer partners. The Saver One, no annual fee, 3% back on the ones I care about is dining and I think grocery. And you know what I mean? That's what I care about. So that way I can make good use of these points. DJ October in the house said, "What's good, Chad? Hope you and your family had a wonderful new year. Thinking about making a Spanish credit card channel and join Cesar and Joe in the space. What are you waiting on? Make it. I'll be there. You can ask Cesar and Joe. I tune into all of this stuff, English and Spanish. Make it. Do it. Do it. And if you need any help whatsoever, please come into Discord. Cesar is in there, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind giving you some help to get it started. But yeah, man, let me know. Shoot me the link. I'll subscribe. You already have, you got subscriber number 1 right here. I'm here for it. Do it. I say do it. So we've talked about the duo, and one other thing is that gotta give a shout out to Luke Points and Miles. He did a members only video today. I have a membership on his channel, so if you didn't see it, it's because you're not a member, and you should probably be a member. But he actually re-exposed me to Cathay Pacific, and I was talking to John, who was a moderator in here yesterday, about the fact that people, in order to do these redemptions, it takes practice. Nobody gets it on the first shot. You know what I mean? You're not just gonna sit at the computer. Okay, you might get a 5 cent per point redemption on a lark, but when you sit on the computer, you know what I mean? How, how do you know that booking, or the ability to book Lufthansa first class on a 747 is probably going to be more so available to you short term out of Avianca, even more so than Air Canada, which actually has great bookings for Star Alliance carriers? How do you know that off the bat until you start researching these things? How do you know which carriers, just like the example I gave earlier, how do you know which alliances actually have sweet spots out of other alliance hubs until you start practicing and researching these things? So I tell people all the time, practice, practice, practice. Whatever it is that you want to do, practice, practice, practice. As far as the redemptions go, try to plan your trip a week from today. Just keep practicing at it. Then, you also want to research what's off season and what's on season for the destination that you want to go to. That is also a wrinkle that comes in to play as far as redemptions go. So, so that's just something that just wanted to share with you guys. Now, so yeah, Luke's Points and Miles reacclimated me to Cathay Pacific because I literally totally forgotten the utility of them, and especially in order to visit England from the US, because sometimes the taxes and fees, you actually pay a little less carrier fee because Cathay Pacific won't carry over as many as British Airways will. So that is definitely something to think about here. So that is something I wanted to share with you. Um, Cathay Pacific also is a one world carrier, so I've actually found Qatar Airways availability on Cathay Pacific. You can book domestic flights in the US from Cathay Pacific. That's how I found the availability to Honolulu. Now, that's going to be different than Air Canada, where you cannot book domestic US flights via Air Canada. They have to be international. So these things are all things that you gotta be aware of, and it takes practice. So I'm pretty excited. January 1st, first approval of the year in the credit card space. I won. Um, I've been having a great time doing these lives, and I want to thank all you guys for coming. I didn't know I'd get 20 people in here. So I'm waiting on that Saver one. I'm going to see how it works its way into my system. Still working on a sign up bonus for the oh, that's the other thing. Full transparency. I did not get a sign up bonus for the Saver one. Did not. I did not do it because, like I said, I'm trying to jump out of a bucket. So they actually gave me the Saver one for good credit instead of the exceptional whatever qualifies me for the sign up bonus. Okay, it is what it is, but I'm thinking long term. So for people who think I may have diminished the value of the card by not getting a sign up bonus, I understand and shut up. But I'm thinking long term because I actually want to build a network of points rather than focus on just a sub and then maybe even sock draw on the card. So that's why I signed up for it. And now also that means I have three, count them, three Capital One cards on one account. One is a co-branded card through Bass Pro Shop, and the other is a Venture One. But let's see what happens within the next year to see what else I'm pre-approved for, because it is told that there is a maximum of two Capital One cards, but you can have co-branded cards. But as far as ones that are issued by Capital One proper, there are only two. But we're gonna test that. We're gonna test that in the coming times. Okay, let's see here. Matt Clausen says, Chad got the Saver one. It's been more used for me lately. Big Gritter 210 says, same here. I didn't receive a sign up bonus. Well, we got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I pretty much got everybody here. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. I was gonna, ring in the new year on the live, but luckily my wife, who totally abandoned me yesterday because we were supposed to watch a show together, she was like, all right, let's watch the show now. It was like 11:47, so I went and watched the show with her, and then we totally passed out because luckily all the kids were asleep, and thank goodness the house was quiet. So Karen Myrie says, I have Capital One for my side hustle business account. They've been pestering me to apply for their credit card. I figure I'll do it this year. Now, Karen, are you applying for their business card or are you applying for personal cards? And the reason I ask for the distinction is that if it's for your business, understand that from everything that I've been told, I do not have a Capital One business card, any of their Spark cards, but their business cards, I have been told on numerous occasions that they do report to your personal credit and personal utilization, which is something I probably would not suggest if this card is going to be for your business. If it's going to be a personal card, then that's a whole different ball of wax. And then in addition to that, I'm happy to have the Saver One card because I can actually take it with me when we leave the country, because it's either a Visa or a Master. I think it's a MasterCard. I want to say it's a MasterCard. I was just so happy I got the approval. I started working up the live and really didn't even look at the card details aside from the ones that were interesting to me. So even without giving you all the nuts and bolts, it can be a good alternative when I go out of the country, because normally, and call me a unicorn, I don't know about anybody else, but when I leave the country, I almost exclusively use my American Express cards. I never have a single issue with American Express. Then again, I go to tourist heavy metropolitan areas. I am not going to a lovely little hamlet outside of Zurich where there's one traffic light and there are more mountains than people. I'm not going to, a neighborhood outside of Lagos, Nigeria, or the south side of Phuket, Thailand. I actually go to metro areas. I've never had a problem whatsoever, period, ever, with Amex cards, but at least I can bring the Saver one, and it's a food card. Hopefully, it works outside the US. But I mean, the multiplier set is, but either way, it can still be used. I can bring that as a card to, be an alternative to my American Express. Right, Clausen says it's a World MasterCard. It'll be 0% foreign transaction fees and gives you Uber One for free until the end of the year to supercharge your gold and platinum cards. There you go. See that? So now a Capital One card has actually come in and strengthened my American Express cards. Now, see, this right here is the reason I get so fired up about things like, subreddits where people, talk trash about the community that we have cultivated, is that because the support here allows us to share knowledge at lightning speed. So like that's just a perfect example. You know what I mean? Because now I'm going to look at it from a different perspective, and that's from the perspective of my Amex cards. DJ October says I'm over 524 until April of 2025. I am over 524, I think, like forever. I don't even know anymore. I really don't. This actually puts me another notch. I don't know. At this point, I stopped counting. It's just, aside from me working for Chase and getting a spot on the board of directors, I don't think I'm ever going to get another Chase card, but that's fine. I got them all when I was 824 anyway, so maybe they'll lose their minds and have one of those giveaways. Let me check on what these kids are doing before I sign off here. What we got going on here? Sorry. Hey, kiddo. Oh, you hanging out? You gonna hang out up here?
No, I'm gonna bring my blanket fort stuff down and very soon we can make a blanket.
Oh, your blanket fort? Okay, go ahead. Knock yourself out. You're making blanket forts. So, that who you heard in the background is my lovely co-star who does all my intros. So she's here hanging out with us, and I love having her. All right, let's see here. DJ October says, if I upgrade my CFU, Chase Freedom Unlimited, to a CSP, Chase Sapphire Preferred, with no bonus, can I downgrade it back to Chase Freedom Unlimited in 2025 to apply for a CSR, Chase Sapphire Referred, with a bonus? And do I have to wait 1 year again to downgrade, or is it only 1 year to upgrade? Now, here's the thing. If you already have the CFU, once you upgrade it to the CFP, the CSP, if you do it and you're not going to be 524 under 524 until April, if you do it now or the next month, once you do the upgrade, after that year is passed, because of course, if you upgrade to a card with an annual fee, most companies want you to keep the card at least for a year in order to make the annual fee jive with what you're getting. So now, once you do that, if you downgrade it back to another Freedom Unlimited or OG Freedom, as long as, oh no, wait a minute. Let me say the right thing here. If I upgrade CSP, because there is the 48-month language with the possession of a Sapphire product before you can apply for another one. So right now you have a Freedom Unlimited and you don't have a CSP, is what you're saying? Is that what you're, because I mean, I wouldn't upgrade it to the CSP and then start that 4-year clock, because 2025 is only 1 year away instead of 4. If you don't have it already, I probably wouldn't. And then on top of that, with the CSP specifically, because the card is such a poor earner, I would not sidestep the sign-up bonus on that. Sorry, I just read the comments again. Just wanted to make sure I gave you, the best advice that I think. I mean, I don't know if people would agree with that or not, But the CSP is definitely a card because it is not a strong earner. I would never skirt the sign up bonus for that. I would sidestep the sign up bonus for the Aspire because the free night award can give me value very much so over and above what I would pay for the benefits. I sidestep the sign up bonus for the Saver One because it's just going to be an alternate card with comparable earning that I'm going to be using and taking advantage of. But the CSP, for the most part, 95% of the people who have it that I know of literally just have it for entree to the Chase travel partners. And it's actually, most people that I see, it's in a sock drawer somewhere. I've never seen a worn out Chase Sapphire Preferred. So if you got your eyes on the CSR, I would probably just focus on that and leave the CSP, as a mid grade, or just in case once you get eligible, as something to be able to apply for and get an elevated sign up bonus because they range anywhere from 60,000 to 100,000 points. Says, I have the CFU now. If I upgrade to the CSP, I have to wait 48 months to apply for another snappier product. Did not know it. Yes, there is 48-month language for that. And I'm sure people can confirm in the chat. There is 48-month language. Once you have a Sapphire product, start the clock because you can't get another sign-up bonus for 48 months. And you cannot hold two Sapphire products at the same time. So that is also something that you have to, or at least you're not supposed to. I'm sure somebody's probably found a hack, and you can find in the deep, dark recesses of YouTube. DJ October also says, it's because I use Hyatt and I have 31,000 points doing nothing when I could transfer them if I had the CSP. Tough choice. Okay. I mean, if I was going to take one without a sign-up bonus, I'd skip the CSP and go straight to the CSR because a lot of the times I've only ever heard of the CSR getting a $60,000 sign-up bonus, but you get that $300 credit that is notoriously easy to use. You get the 1.5 point floor for all your redemptions. I'd probably just go with that, hold that for 4 years, and then grab a CSP with an elevated sign-up bonus for 4 years. That's just how I would do it. That would be the better value proposition for me. I mean, like I said, people could disagree. By all means, someone may have a better idea, but just, apples to apples, I think that would be best because really, like, the CSR is kind of a loss leader for Chase anyway, even though it's a pretty easy card to use. But due to the annual fee, people tend to, sidestep it in favor of the CSP. But that's what I would do because you're not going to lose as much as you would lose with the sub on a CSP, and you would still get access to all the travel partners. So that's gonna work well for you. I like the pace, so I had to get up and stretch my legs. Random Judoka says, I think holding a Chase Ink Preferred as the gateway card and having another Chase Freedom Flex is probably more profitable than holding the CSP. I am with you 100%. The Chase Ink Preferred, if you're not familiar, is the business, it's like almost like a business variant of the Chase Sapphire Preferred. $95 annual fee for both cards, but you get more multipliers with the Ink Preferred. Like you get transit, you get 3x on transit, you get 3x on cell phone. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but I know they're just better than the Sapphire Preferred, even if you're using it for personal items, which is totally up to you. But that is my entree into the Chase Travel Portal is my Ink Preferred. I don't really care for the CSP, and I've never really been shy about saying it. All right, let's see here. Oh, Chad Pennycuff. Oh, just so you guys know, Chad Pennycuff runs the Disney Vacation Club channel. By all means, please check that out. This is one of the, literally, it's one of the vacation clubs that is unique in the fact that it actually has an active and profitable secondary market. And he has a devoted base of people that participate and a fan base. You definitely want to check that out. My DVC. John, can you do me a favor and link some of the channels in here so that people can check them out? I'd appreciate it. DJ October says, random, what would be perfect? And I would have the Chase Ink preferred already if I wasn't over 524. Trust me, I tried in branch with my banker and recon wouldn't budge. Oh, okay. All right. I get you. Chad Pennyco says the Chase Ink preferred replaces 3X on the CSR's 3X on travel. Okay. All right. So, like I said, always use your resources. And we got a good amount of people in here. You know what I mean? I didn't actually expect to go this long, but I always say that and I always go long. But I just wanted to let you guys know about the poor man's poor man's CapitalOne Duo. I now have it. I will be, once I get the card in the mail, I will be putting it into effect. I think my next live, to kind of foreshadow it, is probably going to be another Chat's Perspectives on, and it's going to be Amex based. And it's not all going to be positive because I've noticed some things about Amex and I've heard some things about Amex that, that are circulating that are not true. And then B, also, I just want to give an analysis from someone. I personally hold 8 Amex cards. Well, 7 now. No, 8. Yeah, 8. I personally hold 8 American Express cards, and I just want to give you guys some real world, thoughts about it, both positive and negative, because nothing's perfect, even though most would consider me an Amex fanboy. But we are here. Let's take it to 40 and wrap. Does anybody have any other questions here? I'd love to answer questions if I can be of help, if I can be of service. And in the meantime, let me shout out to the people who have been here. Of course, John, the moderator, Woodsy. You know, he's big in the community. He's done podcasts with Anthony Venture, Cesar Joel, Spanish speaking creator, just an awesome human being. You can always check him out. He's in everything, man. He's all over the place. JP Knowledge is a redemptionist extraordinaire. MR, longtime friend of the channel. He's awesome guy. He travels a lot, goes back and forth to Africa for work, and he has a great knowledge of the credit card game. DJ October, we're trying to pressure him into starting a channel, but he's a great friend of the channel. Now, this first, Matt Clausen, he's a fellow creator as well. Big Gritter 210, the first time I'm seeing you here, but welcome. Karen Myrie, first time I'm seeing you here. Welcome. It is great to have you. Random Judoka, just met him. Awesome. He's in the venture capital Discord. You know what I mean? Who else is here? Chad Pennycuff, I just introduced him. Oh, wait a minute. I think I missed it. Okay, here we go. Karen Myrie says, can I apply for the Chase Sapphire Inc. for my business even though my business account isn't with Chase? Is Sapphire better than the Saver? Random Judoka answers the question by saying no problem getting an ink without a checking account. All right. Perfect. There it is. And that's a community. That's what we do with one another. Now, is the Sapphire better than the Saver? I would say no. From a points earning standpoint, no. From a travel, from a points value standpoint, the CSP is better because the CSP earns you points plus gives you access to the travel partners, where the Saver, you're gonna need some sort of venture card to convert the cash back to the points in order to use them. And remember, that's a one-way conversion. You convert them one way, you can't bring them back. So I got John listing channel links here. Richie, the CEO, is in the building. Big homie Richie. Call me Lonnie. Hey, Chad and everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. So just letting everybody know that we're about to sign off here, but exactly what's coming up. We're going to be doing some perspectives on Amex. And then on Fridays, we're going to be doing, Creator Spotlight. I did the very first Creator Spotlight. It was on Spencer Johnson, a longtime friend of the channel. And I've met him in person a few times. I was on his channel during Creator Conversations. which was just an awesome experience. All around great guy. If I could be presumptuous enough to call him a friend, I would hope that he would agree because definitely a good guy, great YouTuber, great researcher. So yeah, we'll have those creative conversations, do my chats perspectives, and just as a reminder to everybody, all of my content will, except for members only content, because I'll be shooting special videos for them. But all of my regular content will be live for the month of January. So let's see what we got here. Big Gritter 210 says Capital One gave me a $300 credit limit increase. It's safe to say that I am not bucketed. I've been hearing stories of people not getting CLI on the QS1 at all. Well, honestly, I got my only first and only credit limit increase was on my Venture One card. The limit was 5,000. They gave me 10%, so they gave me $500 more dollars. And I've been with Capital One since, was it 2001, 2000? I want to say 2000 since I was 18. It's crazy, but you may be bucketed, because there are people who are actually able to double their limits. As a matter of fact, Kayla Shenanigans, another creator in the space, she actually just put a video out about her method of doubling her Capital One credit line. So I would definitely check that out. Random Judoka says, one thing I feel like is always missing from the Chase conversation is that the primary Star Alliance partner is United. And honestly, for long haul redemption, United is trash. Yeah, I've looked at them more for domestic, and I've found them to be just god awful. But the best thing about United though is they give you that availability calendar, which you can then you look up availability for other carriers that you can book through Air Canada or another Star Alliance carrier. But yeah, you're right. Capital One with access. Oh, I'm sorry. Random Joker says Capital One with access to Chris Flyer and Avianca. It's way better for that. Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of Avianca. I think Avianca is great. And I mean, even if you use Avianca or any of the other Star Alliance programs to book United, because I can't lie, I've heard great things about the Polaris product. I really have. For aspirational travel, I've heard great things about it. I've tried to use them domestically a few times, and I've found that I didn't like the points rate that I was getting, especially sometimes even compared against a cash ticket. So that's just something to keep in mind. And there you go. Call Me Lonnie comes in. Hashtag Team United. He's a big fan of United. He's actually spoken about it on his channel. So you definitely want to look at that. Matt Clausen says Aeroplan. When I tell you Aeroplan for the win, I used Aeroplan on some Lufthansa tickets, business class. I got 8 cents per point, $9,700 worth of airplane tickets for $300. I'm a huge fan of Aeroplan. Period, point blank. And also with Aeroplan, if you actually do a redemption with them, for all of those who have not, Aeroplan will allow you to use 100% of points. So literally, there's no money out of pocket at all. The only problem is you start losing a lot of value when you start paying taxes with the points instead of paying for a flight with the points. But if you got the points to burn and you want to fly Star Alliance, go to Aeroplan, get your ticket, and then you can actually choose to just use all points, and you can actually do what a lot of people in the community say, and that's fly for free. So, Call Me Lonnie says United treats their loyalists very well. TH says congrats on the Saver One card. What's the credit limit Capital One gave you? For the good credit, they gave me $3,000, which is not gonna be a problem for me because I don't plan on charging that much to it. I just wanted to try to, spill off into another bucket that they've had me in for over 20 years. So that's really where I'm gonna go with it. Because like I said, this card is just gonna be to order lunch at work for my coworkers, and they pay me back anyway. So it's not like, I'm at work acting like Santa Claus. MR says typical Capital One shenanigans. You got that right. So what I'm actually gonna do is try to pick up the virtual card and see if tomorrow when I go into work, if I can do an online order. And if I can do so and use the virtual card, I'll start earning on it right away and then test out that conversion. But I said I was going to go to 40. We are now at 45 minutes. And you already know I have to head back to the family. Hold on, one more thing. Dre just hanging out. I have the Saber 1 in the Venture. I'm slowly working my way to the Venture X. Hey, good luck to you. I hope you get it. Venture X is actually a fantastic card. Call Me Lonnie says, I have a vid coming out this week where I tip on using your points to cover your taxes. No money out of pocket. Cover it all with points. Keep an eye out. All right, Call Me Lonnie. I will be there. I will be there for it. I'll turn on. I think I have my notifications on because I pretty much get most of your videos. So with that being said, I just have to let you guys know you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here with me, and it is always greatly appreciated. I don't care about subscriber counts because every single person here is a milestone, because without you, there is no me. I really do appreciate all of the support. I appreciate everything that you guys do. I appreciate all the knowledge that is present in my comment section. Great creators, great commenters, just great people all together. So I just want to bid everybody a good night. Have a happy, healthy, safe, and prosperous new year. We got the very first credit card approval of the new year in the Credit Cards Points and Miles community for yours truly. And I'm just, I'm looking forward to the ride until 2025. So with that being said, you guys have a great night. Take it easy. Peace and love.